Welcome to this video. This is tip number 11 on how to increase computer security, online safety, and privacy. And today we will be talking about the importance of updates. Now, updates are extremely important because they include not just updates for features and layout and stuff like that, but they also include security updates. And so if you are not keeping your software up to date, your computer or device could be at risk. Now, the reason why I bring up this topic is because a lot of the computers I work on, I am finding that a lot of them are not up to date. And so I'm just going to go over just a couple areas where you need to check and make sure that your software is up to date. I will be doing this on a Windows and on a Mac. The first thing here on Windows that we want to make sure is up to date is the operating system. And so what you're going to do is just click on the Windows Start button here in the bottom left-hand corner and click on Settings. Now, if you're using an older version of Windows, like Windows 8 or Windows 7, I'll go over that here in just a moment, but first I'm going to go over Windows 10. And so again, you'll click on the Windows Start button in the bottom left corner, and then we're just going to click on Settings. If you do not have settings there, you can just type in Settings, and it will also bring it up. Now, once the setting windows opens, you'll just want to look for where it says Update and Security, and then you'll just click on Check for Updates. Now, these updates should be applying automatically, but you do want to double check periodically just to make sure they are not failing and that they are actually updating. If it does find any updates, it will go ahead and start to do the update, in which case you'll then have to restart the computer. Now, if you're on Windows 7 or Windows 8, you'll need to search for the control panel and go ahead and open up the control panel. And you'll go to System and Security, and here there will be an option listed to check for Windows updates. I do not have the option because I'm on Windows 10, but again, on Windows 7, Windows 8, you will have an option here to check for updates. If you're on a Mac, what you'll want to do in order to check to make sure the operating system is up to date is come up here to the top left corner, click on the Apple icon, and go to the App Store. And once this opens up here, you'll just come to the top right hand side, click on Updates, and it will just double check to see if there are any updates available for your computer. If there are any, they will be listed right here and have an update button on the right hand side that you can click on to go ahead and apply the update. The next piece of software that you will absolutely want to make sure is up to date is your antivirus program. It does not matter which antivirus program you are using, you will need to open it. First find it and then open it, and then all antivirus programs do have an update option. You will need to locate it, and right now I'm just here in Windows Defender. I'm just going to go to Protection Updates, and I'll go ahead and check for updates. Now again, these should be updating automatically, but the reason why we check is because sometimes they fail, and so you do need to double check to make sure that your antivirus program is actually updating. If it is not, that means your antivirus program does not have the latest and most current definitions, which means it's more or less going to be useless against the most recent and current threats out there. Now, the next thing that we want to make sure is up to date is our web browsers. Now, I'm going to go over Google Chrome and Firefox. When it comes to Microsoft Edge and Safari, we don't have to worry about those because if our operating system is updating, that means that Edge is updating, or if we're on a Mac, if the operating system on the Mac is updating, that means that Safari is updating, because when you update your Windows computer, Microsoft Edge also updates. Now, if you're using Windows 7 or Windows 8, same thing goes for Internet Explorer. So, individually speaking, we do not need to check for updates for Microsoft Edge or Safari if the operating system is up to date. However, that is not true with Google Chrome and Firefox. So here in Google Chrome, I'm going to come up here to the top right hand side and go down to Help and click on About Google Chrome. And this will just double check for updates. We'll get this little check mark if it is up to date. If it is not, then it will automatically start to update, and you'll need to then, once it's finished, restart the Chrome browser. We can also double check to make sure individual components of the browser are up to date. So if we come up here to the address bar and just delete the word help and replace it with the word components and hit enter, it will bring up a list of the individual components in the browser. One here that I would double check often is Adobe Flash Player. Just click on check for updates to make sure that it is up to date. Once finished here, we're just going to click the back button and we're going to go to the extensions option, and then just make sure you have this developer mode box checked, and then you'll want to click on update extensions now to make sure your extensions are up to date. Just a side note, as you've seen many times in many of my videos, we recommend that you use as few extensions as possible. The best would be 0 because extensions often are not safe for the web browser. Here in Mozilla Firefox, we're going to come up here and click on the menu button, and we're going to go down to the question mark here. Now this is going to be different if you're on a Mac, so I'm going to go over that here in just a moment. But here on Windows, again, you will just come up here, click on the menu button, go down to the question mark, and click on About Firefox. And right here it will check for updates. If it's not up to date, it will automatically start to update, and then you'll have to restart the Firefox web browser. If you are using Firefox on a Mac, in order to update Firefox, you will need to come up here to the top left-hand side, click on the word Firefox, and go to About Firefox. And just like on Windows, it will double check right here to see if the browser is up to date. If it updates, you'll need to restart the Firefox web browser. Next, for Firefox, we're going to again click on the menu button and go to Add-ons. And when this menu opens up, you'll just come up here to the top and click on the little gear icon, and then you'll select Check for Updates. Now, once that's finished, you'll also, and I'll list this URL down in the notes below in the video description, but what you'll need to do is just copy it, and then you'll need to paste it in the address bar and then hit enter. And what this will do is check to make sure that the plugins on your Firefox web browser are up to date. Now I don't have a lot installed on here, so it's not even finding anything, but on yours, if it finds any that do need to be up to date, it will list them right here. If they are not up to date, it will have a button for you to click on to update them. Just make sure all of your plugins are up to date, because those also include security updates.